Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. In the name of Allah, the Beneficent, the Most Merciful. I'd like to welcome you, dear viewers, to another in the series, In the Light of Islam. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. May Allah's peace and blessings be on each and every one of you. Dear viewers, our first question today is from Abdurrahman Abdullah in Dubai. He writes, can a Muslim be a witness or partake in a non-Muslim religious activity? For example, at a church wedding or the lighting of lamps, which is originally a Hindu custom. It is not permissible for Muslims to participate in the religious customs of any other religion. This includes greeting people Merry Christmas on Christmas Day, or Diwali, or the various festivals of the Hindus, to greet them on these days. It is not permissible. I know some people may argue, well, what is the harm? What is the harm in doing this? These same people, when we have Eid, they greet us on our days of Eid, though they don't believe in it. So similarly, we don't believe in that Jesus was born on the 25th of December, that he is God, etc. So when we greet them, we're not doing it out of any kind of belief. We're just trying to be sociable and, friendly, as they are friendly to us. Well, dear viewers, this is a point which we need to look at very carefully. Because if that same Christian is greeted by a known Satan worshipper, Happy Satan's Day, will that Christian respond, Happy Satan's Day to you also? No. If he is or she is a practicing Christian, no. This is something evil. But they don't necessarily have to believe in Satan's Day, so why should they not? No, because there's something evil for them to greet others, at a time of evil, corruption. They themselves would be held back from doing this. So in the same way that a Christian would refuse to greet a Satan worshipper Happy Satan's Day, a Muslim should restrain himself or herself from greeting a Christian Merry Christmas, or a Hindu, Merry Diwali or whatever, because in fact the beliefs and practices which constitute Christianity are not from the Prophet Jesus. They're not from God. And if they're not from God, then it means that they're satanic in their origin. Our greeting them is to support a deviation, a major deviation away from the path of truth, where people have, instead of worshiping God, ended up worshiping other human beings. This is a major evil. They may be very nice people, very good people, etc. But religiously speaking, spiritually speaking, they are involved in a major evil. So we're not permitted to greet them and offer support or merriment at that time. Similarly, in the case of Hindus or Buddhists or others, their festivals which are clearly pagan. For us to greet them in these pagan practices, which are satanic in their origin, without any shadow of a doubt, this is totally unacceptable Islamically. Totally unacceptable. So, not only are we not allowed to participate in the festivals, in weddings, or funerals, this type of things, to take part in their religious rites, we're also not allowed to greet people regarding these religious festivals, because it's a part of the rites of the festival that you wish to others, marry this or marry that, happy this or happy that. So as a Muslim, it is not permissible for us to either take part in the ceremonies other religious groups, or to even greet them at such times. Our second question is from Fahim Qazi in Sharjah. He writes, is there any verse in the Quran we could recite in congregation or alone for a problem? A verse in the Quran which we may recite in congregation or alone for a problem. There are books, to be very honest, which provide lists of such verses or names of Allah, etc., which may be recited, to deal with particular problems. You have books published in Pakistan and India and other places, Turkey and others, on the 99 names of Allah. And they will say in there, there are certain rituals that you must do before you recite these names. You shouldn't eat meat for, 1 week or whatever. You need to perform ablution and, a variety of different things. Then they will tell you should recite this name of Allah, 1,000 times in the morning, 1,000 times after Asr, 1,000 times at night before you go to bed. Recite it over water, drink it. And then what? Then if you can't have children, you'll be able to have children. If you've lost something, you'll find it. If your intelligence is low, your intelligence will increase. A variety of things promised by these various rituals. First and foremost, these rituals are nonsensical, if one even thinks about it, because they are using the names of Allah in a way which is not done by Prophet Muhammad or any thinking person. If I want to call on someone, Muhammad, I want to call on this individual. Well, let's say Muhammad, because people might think I'm talking about Prophet Muhammad, may God's peace be upon him. No, Khalid, an individual Khalid. I want to call on him for his help, to give me a hand in what I have to do. If I'm going to call him to give me a hand, I'm not going to call him by just repeating his name. Khalid, 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 Khalid. No. It's nonsense. Oh Khalid, oh Khalid, oh Khalid, oh Khalid. Oh, nonsense. I'm going to call on him. I will call on him saying, Khalid, come and give me a hand. Khalid, I need your help. Khalid, could you please come over here and give me a hand? This is how I will call him. This is how the language functions. As such, when Prophet Muhammad, may God's peace and blessing be upon him, gave us various forms of dhikr or remembrance of Allah, things to say to remember Allah, he gave us statements. La ilaha illallah, subhanallah, walhamdulillah, wa la ilaha illallah, wallahu akbar. All of these are phrases which have meaning. He never instructed us to say any name of Allah over and over and over and over again. It's nonsensical. It's nonsensical in its essence, and it is against the Sunnah in its form. So, just this method is not acceptable. And then, these prescriptions of reading certain verses from the Quran in congregation or privately to remove problems, or reciting names of Allah to remove problems, etc. These are religious acts that I mentioned in some programs previously.